So today I thought we'd take a look at what a $10 bag of calculator buys you. So, TI-30, a TI, the MBA, a TI programmer in pretty rough shape, a TI-1250, a SR51A, which was the first TI calculator I ever owned back in the day, another TI-30, an SR50, yet another TI-30, yet another TI-30, a TI programmable 57, maybe that's the one I had back in high school. I don't remember now. I had one of these two in high school. I just don't remember. That kind of dates me, doesn't it? A TI-25, a TI-35, another TI-35, a TI-55-2, and another TI-30. Also in the bag of calculators was a TI branded AC adapter, another TI branded AC adapter, yet another TI branded, an HP adapter. So there's no HP calculator in here. That's interesting. And another TI branded. Now I did, when I first picked these up, actually go through them and pull all the battery packs out. And as you can see, this one is leaked. It's pretty nasty inside. This one, there's corrosion on the pins here where the battery charger came in, so I'm sure it's leaked inside. This has got corrosion on both the pins, and there it's leaked inside. This has corrosion, it's leaked inside. This has corrosion, it's leaked inside. And this one's full of corrosion. So all of the battery packs have leaked inside. All the battery packs are shot, which is kind of a shame. I think some of these are missing the backs. So there's a 30, there's a 30, missing the back, missing the back. Of course, the ones with battery packs wouldn't have a back. There's a second TI-30 with a back on it. So we've got two TI-30s here. Or three of them. Somebody at some point bought these at the Goodwill here for $1.95. Like I said, I gave $10 for the entire bag in the hopes that I might find one or two good calculators in here. Someplace I bought a fresh package of 9-volt batteries, though at the moment they elude me. I believe these TI-30s will take a 9-volt battery, so at least power. 4 TI-30s, at least power these up and see if they're actually alive. I'll go find the batteries, and oh, here they are. Batteries were hiding. So if I remember correctly, the TI-30 will take a 9-volt battery. I think, yeah, the back of the lid here is shaped to actually hold the battery in place. So I'm confident that they take a 9-volt battery. Trying to keep this all on camera. So let's apply power to one of these guys and see what he does. Well, what do you know? See if I can get that ugly yellow sticker off of there. It's been on there for Lord knows how long. And there's going to be a little bit of work to clean these up. Anyhow, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're square root. Should be 351.3606. And that is certainly not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Square root. Yeah, 351.36306. So it'll do square roots. Off, on, off. I'm seeing the screen react to all the key presses. I took the sine wave of something inverse. Degrees, 25 times 25. It does seem to work. So there's a little TI-30 in reasonable shape. Move on to the next TI-30. Looks like there's not been any battery leakage in this one. And it came on. 5, 6, 351.36306. It looks to me like this is good. Pi is there. Sitting here wanting to interact with it in RPN, and of course it's algebraic. Well, there's a second one. It seems to work. This one might be cosmetically the best of the bunch. It's hard to say. They're all pretty beat up. This one has had a battery leak in it. There was green nastiness on the battery connector, but it didn't seem to get down to the board. There we go. Looks like another working TI-30. What I'm probably the most interested in here is the programmer, because I believe it does hex, octal, maybe binary conversions. Although honestly I can do them in my head, but I also suffer from that getting older brain, so in your head doesn't always yield the right answer. But that's what comes with age. Oh, it's nice and clean inside. It turns on. Amazing. Let's see. Let's clear it. 1 times parenthesis 2 plus 3 parenthesis. Yeah. Anyhow. Well, there's 4 TI-30s. I have 2 back doors for the TI-30s. To at least 2 of these little guys are complete enough to actually be used for something. This is really sad. This is in pretty nasty shape, although I think that's something spilled on there and not necessarily. Yeah, this could probably be opened up. It's clean inside. I'm going to assume this one uses a 9-volt battery as well. Oh, the case is really hammered on it. So this power up with the 9-volt battery. 55 decimal converted to hex. 37. Let's see. 20 hex should be 32. Wonder what. Oh, I get what it's doing. So 2 little bars is hex, 1 little bar over there is octal. And of course we can enter, so you go to hex mode, enter F, F, and decimal will give us 255. Oh, it's got binary entries here that's just hard to see through all the muck. And I may tear this guy down and see if I can clean him up. Maybe not. So I don't know what the power requirements are for the programmable 57. I don't know if the doors on these are interchangeable. Actually, they are. Those TI-30 doors would actually work on the back of the programmable 57. The MBA, boy, I have, oh boy, zero interest in the MBA. Little simple 4-banger with memory. It's seen some corrosion. We'll see if it lights up. It's awfully dirty on the contacts here. Well, it got that frame. It did turn on. Probably got so much glare you can't see it. 351.36307 times 351.36307. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it does basic stuff. What everybody needs. Simple little 4-banger. SR50. Does SR50 imply slide rule? Maybe. It's definitely had a battery leak inside. The corrosion has definitely spread up. Metallically, that may actually still be there. It's definitely spread up the wire to the blocking diode. I don't know if it's made it to the PC board. It doesn't look like it, though it's hard to say. Oh, was there a TI-30 I missed? There was a TI-30 I missed. Ah, he doesn't seem to work. It looks like this guy may have given up the ghost. The SR51, radians and degrees. It does take an external battery pack. It's pretty corroded. One of the battery contacts is missing. The other one's heavily corroded. The corrosion has traveled up the PC board, potentially to the jack. Battery pack must be in position when connecting charger. Attempted repair, so it won't power up without connecting charger. So, shoot. Wonder if this would have docked on the printer thing they had for the 57. So it's got the row of contacts in it. It's a shame. I guess I can't just power it up. We looked at you. And we move on to these LCD ones. And I'm sure the batteries in all of them were long dead. Oh, that keyboard's horrible. I don't have any button cell batteries here. Power these up and test them. Okay, that is truly odd. Wow. Huh, I've never seen that before with the... This one is broke off, so I would guess he wouldn't power up, as there's no continuity there looking at that. So that one would need work to that little flexi cable battery connector to even try to bring it back. That's an interesting design. This one's got batteries in it, and the little flexi cable is at least intact on both sides. Dump those batteries out of there and recycle them. And it's got that same crazy design with the flexible contacts, huh? This one has a note on the back. Tried new A76 1.5 volt battery. Bought for TI-55-3 at work, but entries double up at stores. Did one. I quit using it quite a while ago. So, keyboard issues or... Well, there's what $10 gets you. It looks like 3 working TI-30s. Another stuff that would need TLC to make work. It's too bad that's melted down inside. I wonder what the voltage that powered him is. So it's not that battery pack. It wouldn't be that battery pack. None of these battery packs would be the battery pack this guy uses. They don't have the contacts on them. They've all got the battery connectors on the sides. And of course I could get online and look. I'm tempted to solder a couple of wires in there. They are labeled plus and minus. And fire up a power supply and see if I can get him to turn on. Just sitting here really trying to remember which one did I have. Was it an SR51? I know it was programmable. He's got the learn key on him. Run stop. It must have been the 57 because I wrote little programs on it. Well, and it doesn't look to me like this one's programmable. So, maybe I'll solder a couple wires on and we'll see if one of these will light up. So I'm just using a little flat blade screwdriver here to just kind of clean all the corrosion I can off of a set of these, and I'll put some flux on there and see if I can get those to take a bit of solder. Of course, that as soon as I can find the flux pin. You may have noticed my bench is always very well organized. Everything is exactly where it needs to be, and I don't struggle to find anything. And feel free to call me on that, as obviously nothing is where it's supposed to be. 2 minutes after you straighten up, it's not straightened up. So just a bit of flux on there. There you go. I don't know if I can get those to 10 or not, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, a little bit of solder is biting on. Not a lot, but it'll be enough to attach a couple of wires to. Of course, now this requires me to find a couple of wires. I've got an old dead wiring harness here that I'll pull a couple of wires out of. I know, it's the most exciting thing when I'm working off camera. Couple pieces of wire out of a dead wiring harness. if I'm getting this on camera or not, but this should be at least interesting. Tin the two of those up a bit. Certainly not the best job I've ever done, but it'll work. Oh shoot, you actually got to solder him on before you put the soldering pencil away. That'll help. I'm sure the TI collectors out there are screaming at me, "What are you doing? What are you doing, fool?" Those up a bit. See if I can find the adapter I need. Will these give me enough length? They will. Those aren't going to work for what I wanted to do. Well, shoot, what I thought I was going to do isn't what I'm going to do. Actually, there's what I'm looking for. Where is it? No, that's... someplace here in the sea of adapters are the couple of adapters I need. Actually, oh, those screw on, don't they? Well, I shall return. Well, I found what I'm looking for. This will go into my Rigol power supply. It'll bring the DC out to the two jacks. Rigol supply, negative goes that way, though I will test the polarity here before I hook this up. Voltmeter on. I'll set the supply for 3 volts. Sorry, I'm dialing in the supply. I know it's very unexciting. So the supply has 3 volts set on the output. Just double checking the polarity. And yes, red is positive, black is negative. So I got the polarity correct. Not sure what the voltage of this would be. I'm guessing it's going to be more than 3 volts, but we'll start there. Should probably set a current clamp as well. Current, it's limited at 100 milliamps at the moment. As I expected, nothing. So, oh, it's clamped, so 100 milliamps wasn't enough. Give it 200 milliamps. Still clamped. 300 milliamps, we're still clamped. 400, so 400 milliamps clamp. It's no longer voltage clamped. almost half an amp draw seems excessive to me. Go back to voltage, and I'm going to bring the voltage up in 1/10 of a volt increments. We've clamped again. Guess what I've done? After all my big talk. Got plus and minus backwards. Hope I didn't just destroy this. Well, that is why I current clamped. I became the only explanation for the current draw. And by not paying attention, hopefully I didn't destroy you. Let me bring the current clamp back down to 100 milliamps. Okay, it's clamped at 120 milliamps. We'll bring the clamp up. Oh, there it is. So I'm at 3 volts, drawing 500 milliamps. And we do have, I don't know if you can see it, on the display. It's a little dim. I suspect the operating voltage is actually higher than 3 volts. Let me kill the lab lights so you can see the display a little better. So it is powered on. Of course, it doesn't work. It's seeing the equal key. Yeah, there's been something. It's been spilled into the keyboard. That's a shame. Feeling for a stuck key. It's certainly reacting to, oh, we got an error. That's nice. Maybe the sum key causing the problem. It is very gummed up. None of the number keys want to work. Change sign is there. So it's drawn 140 milliamps at 3.7 volts. Bring it up to 4 volts. It's curious that it responds to all of the other keys. Pi, E, exponential is there. Oh, the second key may be stuck down. Not that I would expect that to, you have to pull the screws out. Well, that's a shame. So there was 3. This pack probably had 3 cells in it. That's got 2 cells in a charger. I'm guessing because of the way the mechanical contacts are, there was probably 3 cells in this. They'd be 1.5 cells. Well, they're rechargeable 1.25 cells. So the operating voltage would be, what, 3.75 volts? So you know, I'm at 4, so I think I'm in probably a typical operating range. Now, power it off. We'll pull the screws out. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much here. Let me find the, look at all the screwdrivers on my magnet. I didn't see the Phillips, although it was hanging right there. Obviously, these screws are different lengths. No surprise. The power is off, by the way. I've turned it off at the power supply. Okay, the construction is fascinating, what I just spotted in there. Hopefully you can see this. They have piggybacked 2 chips here. So there were 2 chips. It's a true piggyback. The top one, pin for pin, is soldered to the bottom one. Across 100% of the pins. What the heck? Why would you do that? Yeah, nasty corrosion. Why would you have 2 chips piggybacked and 100% of the pins soldered? Boy, I can think of reasons you'd do that. None of them are good. That's just kind of crazy. Let's see if it's possible to lift the keyboard assembly up out of there. So they're a nice tactile dome. I hope I didn't fry it by having the battery on backwards. That would really be truly sad, and to admit I did that on camera. I don't see real trace damage from that corrosion on the board. Although there may be. There's a lot of it. Resistor mechanically feels okay. This must go through hole. Is that like a resistor and a... It looks like they're 2 carbon resistors. They must be paralleled for maybe power dissipation. And the charging circuit, maybe. So, as a dummy, I powered it up backwards. This is the negative. This is the positive. Bring the power supply back on. It is on. Yeah, it is not responding to any of the number keys. And if there's an obvious reason for this, it's not obvious to me at the moment. There's the issue right there. I see what it is. You may have spotted it as well. I could probably repair this. Let me turn the power off. That is quite most likely the issue. Something's actually been hot. I can't tell if that trace is completely burned through. I do believe that trace there is completely carbonized, and on the back side it's definitely carbonized. That if I can peel this back a bit. So that is repairable. Yeah, I'm sure the trace is absolutely gone. That's down to the phenolic there. Those can be fixed. Need my other pair of glasses, get a better view. So I don't know if you can see this on camera or not. This should be a complete trace here, and it has just been blown off of the board. I wonder if I did it when I powered it up backwards. I didn't smell smoke, and I don't see evidence that I did. I'm sure that trace is nearly shot, as is this one. So, go to continuity. We'll take a little squiz here at this for continuity. I know it's going to be open. Yeah. Those little metal traces are pretty oxidized. They're not great conductors. Definitely open. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jumper those and see if we can bring it back to life. So it's certainly not a pretty fix. I had to bring the tip temperature on the pencil up to 400 degrees before I could even begin to get this to take solder. I'm guessing that's probably a nickel of some kind. Completely blown off the board there. You can see where there's all the corrosion here from the old battery pack that is directly over these areas here, but I have managed to jumper both sides. I have no idea if that's going to fix it. The power supply, see the calculator's on. Fold this back over. Certainly not a pretty fix. Power on, we have a 0, and absolutely no difference. Absolutely no difference. Alright, keys still don't work. It's an interesting failure. Makes me wonder if there's something else up under here. It's just a protective layer to keep it from shorting up against the board. The only other trace that's questionable is that one. And it's fine. Yeah, that's obviously where that goes. I don't see any other traces that are missing. This was, of course, blown out of the water here. Firmly blown in the ass. Well, that's a shame that didn't attempt to make a difference. Well, I guess I'll put it back together and either try again another day or put it back in the $10 mystery box of calculators. That's really a shame. The numeric keys just don't do anything. The tackle domes all feel any that are stuck down. That's truly a shame. The little interconnect cable doesn't seem to have any broken connections. The soldering on it's not great. Oh shoot, I had high hopes that would be enough to fix it. Now it may get sold for parts only. It looks like it's got a good display. What the heck? Oh, the board must have been touching something. And there's another very corroded. Well, there's lots of corrosion. I mean, oh, there's another. Is that another destroyed trace? It sure as hell. That may actually be an intentional missing trace. Nah, it's just a dirty board. That closer, that is a glass diode there. That's got to be part of the charging circuit. That's the power switch there. Must be maybe diode protection, although that's the diode protection for the input. I mean, it is possible something's corroded away trace-wise underneath here. You know, I've putzed long enough on it. Got other stuff to do, so, well. A pile of calculators. Sorry you didn't get to see an actual fix video, but such is life. So with the wires red and black, if they followed standards, red is going to be positive, black's going to be negative. Maybe I'll try to power up another one. You know, do it foolishly without looking anything up on the web. Just throw power on it, see what happens. See if I can find a loose resistor here or something to use to get power to those pins. It's amazing how you've always got 1,000 things laying around until you need something, and then of course it's not one to be found. I'll be back. So I'm going to make an assumption that the battery pack in him was around 4 volts as well. You know, 3 volt and a quarter rechargeable cells, something in that range. So black lead is to negative, red lead is to positive. I will turn on the output of the power supply and complete nada. It's drawing 0 current, which is surprising. Tend to say to me that either the switch isn't making contact, which is possible. It's really grubby underneath. Well, I'm not going to push the voltage any higher than that. So, well, that was a bust. Well, just for completeness, I thought I'd go ahead and try this guy as well. And there's absolutely zero draw on the power supply. I do actually have the brown battery pack here. Nothing gives me a hint what the voltage is, although I've just realized there's only really 2 cells in there. The fact that there's zero current draw is really interesting. Yeah, there's plenty of length for these to be making contact. Don't know. So looking inside of this brown battery pack, I can see an electrolytic capacitor up under there. It makes me wonder if this might have like a boost converter in it, and it's stepping the 3 volts up to 6 or 9. And yes, I could get on the web and research this and be smarter about it, but where would the fun be in that? I don't know that I can get that to release without breaking the tabs. Anyhow, I'm going to work under the assumption that that's a boost converter of some kind, and I'm going to slowly bring up the voltage. The output voltage is on. That's 3 volts. 4 volts. Absolutely no current draw, which just surprises me. Output is on. How can there be no current draw? Thought I smelled hot semiconductor, but I don't. I'm pretty confused by that. Make sure that I've actually got. Yep, it's live. It clamped, made a little spark. You know, I'm at 8 volts and there's absolutely no current draw. Which just doesn't make any sense. Looking at the power supply here. Bring the voltage back down to 0. And do something stupid. Because, you know, stupid's how we fly. That's got to be power on. Oh, it's drawn current. That might be CMOS latch up I'm seeing there. It just went bang. Get the other glasses so I can see better. Hopefully you're enjoying this little adventure as much as I am. Let's see the current limit. How did that end up at a 3 amp limit? That's weird. That was up at 3 amps. There's 100 milliamps. I'll put it back on. Absolutely no current draw. Oh, there it is. There's 10 milliamps. Is that the low battery indication? Or is that the "you just fried me" indication? We're getting closer to it doing something. I'm guessing this operates at 9 volts. And it's using a little boost converter. Yep, it just cleared. So there's 8 volts. Well, so a couple of things. The black and red on the leads here, can't trust them. They were backwards, and it is a boost converter in there. I've got it at 8 volts, and it's drawn 30 milliamps, which actually seems light. Clear it. And as I light up more LEDs, I see the current draw go up. Well, the MBA, it's certainly a scientific calculator. Well, so with it playing the sacrificial lamb, because I'm going to assume the 57 used a similar technology. Of course, I could be completely wrong. No, we have a 0. We have the same sad stuff where the keyboard is really not working well. Yeah, now that I look at this is the calculator I had in high school with the single step key, etc. over there. Suddenly it looks very familiar. We have another sadly not working keyboard that I'm sure needs to be cleaned at a minimum. It is really gunked up. Keys occasionally work. I think it's just a gummy mess inside. Oh, I just ran the program until it crashed. It saw the run stop key. Run whatever's in memory. Now, I think I'm going to put things back together, put them back in the bag. Don't know what I'll do with them. But there it is. A bunch of TI calculators. Hope you enjoyed this and didn't yell at me too much for being stupid. Bye.